about risks, and it's very important to manage risk. Maybe we should wait, some of you, or we can start. So let's start, and I think, yes, most of you is connected, yes, with us. So I think we can start. So I show you my screen. Maybe our organizers send you the presentation. It will be our main material to discuss risk management. What about risk management? According to a survey of PricewaterhouseCoopers, chief executive officer all over the world talked and named approach to managing risks and skills in this sphere as one of the top three more important skills for chief executive officer, for top management in the corporation. So it's really very important, especially in our world, when we are saying that it's a lot of volatility, it's a lot of uncertainty, it's really complex world and business in our world. So it's very important to understand risk, to think about risk, and to understand how to manage risk. So because on our winter school high-tech management, we discuss and we say about risk. What do you think? What do you think? Yes, my animation doesn't work in this case. Okay, what do you think about the question? Sorry, I need to. Which one? Sorry, what do you think about what is the main goal for risk management, Is it to reduce risk? Maybe you can put plus, minus in our chat. Is it the most important thing about which is the risk management cares to reduce risk? No, it's not the most important thing. It's not the most important thing, because the main goal of risk management to manage risk, to understand the risk. In any case, in some cases, we need to reduce risk, really to reduce risk. But in some cases, we need to take risk and to understand risk, to think about risk, but not try to escape this risk. And in some cases, we need to increase risk if we want to be successful, if we want to be efficient, if we want to achieve goals which corporations, high-tech corporation is going to achieve. So as we say, is it comfortable to see my screen? Yes. In some case, so we can say that the main risk management goal is to rise the managerial performance by managing risk. Is to rise the performance, is to reduce expenses about risk, but to construct risk management system in the company. And for strategic management, we need to make informed risk taking. And for operational management, we need to control risks about operations. And also, James Lamb, one of the guru in risk management, said us that the only alternative of risk management is crisis management. And this is much more expensive, time-consuming, and burdensome affair. So if you have no risk management in your corporation, then you really will have crisis management, and your expenses to manage crisis will be much more, will be larger than your expenses for risk management, for systematical risk management. If we know that it's very important to manage risk and to launch such system in our corporation, in any corporation, and especially in high-tech corporation, let's try to understand together what is risk. And according to our class, we will talk that risk is an external or internal event that affects the achievement of company goals. It's something that can happen in company and can influence, impact on the company goals achievement. And if we know about risk as an event, then we can say that each risk has understandable causes and consequences. And we should understand these causes and consequences. And also we can say that we can measure risk, and we should measure risk to understand its importance. There are two main measurements for risks. It's the damage, the expenses of risks, and risk probability. It's very important, and we will discuss it later. Okay, when we are saying about risk, we can say that we can manage risk intuitively, and most of us make it each day, because we face with the risk every day, and we need to imagine risks, and we need to think about risk, and we need to construct road between risks, and we make it really intuitively. But as we know, system approach and critical mind, one of the most important soft skills in our current management and our current existence, then I would like to give you information how to construct risk management system and use systematical approach to manage risk in the corporation or maybe in your life. And if we are saying about risk management as a system approach, then we can say that it includes 5 main stages. The first stage is risk identification. The second stage is analysis and prioritization risks. After that, when we identify risk, analyze risk, we can choose any ways to some ways to manage risks. After that, we should make risk monitoring to understand what has happened and why it has happened. And also, we need to imply risk management culture in our corporation, because it's very important to make it systematically on any career position in your corporation, employee position. It's not the headache of, it's not only the headache of top managers, but on any stages of incorporation, we need to think about risk. So let's talk about each stage and how can we make the stage and what should we do on each of the stages of risk management system. The first stage, risk identification, and it is the most important stage, because only on this stage we try to identify risk. We try to understand what can happen. And if we don't understand and if we don't identify risk on this stage, then we will not manage this risk. You are in whole system. It can happen. Maybe it will happen. And we face with this risk. And after that, we include this risk in our risk management system. But of course, it's very important to try to identify risks, as many risks as we can on the first stage. So it is the first step to identify risk, and risk identification is determine factors and events that could adversely affect the goals set by, and the risk that are not identified in this step will not be minimized subsequently, will not be managed subsequently. How to identify risk? When we are saying about human nature, we have a lot of mental prejudices and traps, and it is one of the barriers how to identify risk and to think about risk. Let's look what kind of mental traps we can face with. For example, I'd like to you ask me for several questions. Maybe orally, some of you, please give us information. What do you think? Please choose any answer. Some of the questions will not have right answer. It depends on your choice. The first question: in what group is it more likely to meet people that the average growth 195 centimeters? What do you think? Is it more likely in a group of 10 men or in a group of 1,195 men? If you would like to give your opinion about right answer, please switch on your microphone, turn on your microphone and say, what do you think? Erin, what do you think about this answer for these questions? Erin, what do you think?
I'm so sorry, Miss. Later, because the connection in my house is still not stable, so could you repeat the questions one more time?
Yes, of course. Please read the question and choose the answer. What do you think? In what group it's more likely to meet people that the average grows 195 centimeters?
I'm so sorry, Miss. I don't see the questions.
You don't see the questions?
Yes,
do you see my screen?
I only see the screen is in the first screen. in the first slide.
Please send me, everybody, do you see my screen? I said you information about our
we see the first slide with the presentation start, but it's not the presentation mode, it's the other part, only PowerPoint.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, Miss.
It's not good, absolutely. One moment, please. I try to. It's not good. Sorry. Okay. Okay, now do you see the next slide? The other slide? Or you see the same slide again?
Now we see that you clicked on the second slide.
Yes, now you see. Okay,
yes.
Thank you. Thank you for your tolerance, and please, it's very sad that you did not see the presentation. Maybe I need to talk again about risk management, and because you didn't see slides. Let's repeat, maybe it will be not so bad. Okay, we are saying about risk management, and it's really important part of management and of skills for top managers in any kind of corporation, especially in high-tech corporation. This opinion proved by research which made by PricewaterhouseCoopers, and lots of top managers or lots of chief executive officer all over the world said that approach to managing risk is one of the 3 top competencies that should be in the pool of skills of top managers, especially of chief executive officer. So we need to discuss risk management in any case when we are saying about management in corporation. And as I say, to reduce risks, it's not the main goal of risk management. The main goal of risk management to give information and to give opportunity to manage risk. But sometimes we need to really reduce risk. In other cases, we need to take risk, to understand, to think, to discuss risk, but to take this risk. And in other cases, we need to increase risk if we want to be more efficient, more successful, maybe that even more sustainable, and different strategies will be needed in different sets of risk management ways. So if when we are saying about the goal of risk management is to rise the managerial performance by managing risk. And for strategic management, we need to make informed risk taking. And if we are saying about operational management, we need to control risk and to manage it too. And if we are saying, as James Lamb, guru of risk management, said us, that the only alternative risk management is crisis management. But crisis management is much more expensive, time-consuming, and burdensome affairs. So if you have no risk management system in your company, in your corporation, then you will face with crisis management, but it's more stressful and it's really more expensive for any corporation and any situation. When we are saying about risk, we need to understand what is it. And the risk definition is that risk is an external or internal event that affects the achievement of company goals. If we want to achieve goals, if we have goals, then we have some factors, some events that can impact on the goals achievement, and we need to think about these events and factors. And each risk has understandable causes and consequences. And also we can measure risk. And two main measurements for risks is the damage, expenses of risk, and the risk probability. It's very important to measure because maybe you know such phrase in management that we can manage if we can measure the situation. If we can't measure anything, we can't manage it. It's really important to have measurement and for risk too. And if we want to manage risk, if we want really to manage risk, we can use two different approaches. The first approach, to manage intuitively. It means that that we do every day because we really face with risk and we need to manage risk, and we make it intuitively in the most cases in our life. But I would like you to show risk management system approach, and I think, and I'm sure that it's much more effective for corporation to launch risk management system in their activity. So what is risk management in this case? Risk management is the system approach to identify, analyze, monitor, and risk optimization. So it includes five main stages. The first stage, risk identification. The second stage, risk analysis and prioritization. The third stage is risk management. The fourth stage, risk monitoring. And the fifth stage, it is the systematical stage. It should make every day to form risk management culture. Let's discuss each stage during our class. And the first stage is the risk identification. It is the most important stage, as I said earlier, the most important stage, because only in this stage we try to identify, to describe, to understand what kind of risks can happen in our corporation, maybe in our life, if you are saying about people. If we will not identify risk on this stage, then we will not manage this risk during whole period of risk management system on this in this circle maybe. So it's very important to identify risk because we need to construct list of risks which we will manage. But we have some problems because of mental traps. Lots of people dislike to think about risks, and it's not the problem of any special person, but it's really our human nature when we really dislike to think about risks. And let's look at such kind of mental traps that we can face, and how to, by using systematic system approach, to escape such kind of mental traps. Let's talk about mental traps. Please give your answer to the question which you see on your screen. And the first question: in what group it is more likely to meet people that the average grows 195 centimeters? Is it should be the group of 10 men or the group of 1,195 men? What do you think? Maybe somebody would like to say the answer. It's please give your opinion. Patrick, what do you think?
B.
B. Why?
There are lots of more people to have the average growth.
195 centimeters. Yes. Yes, but it maybe it's more likely to meet people with the average growth of such high growth. Yes, for people almost 2 meters, maybe in a group of 10 men, in smaller group. For example, you can meet basketball team, and in this group it will be the average growth, maybe, yes, or in any other cases with tall, very, very tall men. But in this case, sometimes also answer B looks like a more useful, more right answer, because it looks like the numbers in your question. And sometimes in our mind, we can connect these two information, these numbers, and to choose answer B because of this information. Okay, thank you, Patrick, for your answer. It was the one question which has almost maybe right answer, but the other questions have no right answers. So please give your opinion, and it will be very useful for all of us. So the other question: 600 people are infected with a deadly virus, and what kind of treatment program do you choose? Maybe it will be very useful for us if you give your answer, if everybody of you give us answer for this question, deadly virus. Erin, what do you think, program A or program B?
If I have to choose, I will select the program A, because why? The comparison in the program B, we know that the probability that no one will survive is higher, instead of the likelihood of the 600 will survive. It is 60%. But if we have to choose the program A, it survives 200 people, and also the chance, maybe because it has no statement, it is more useful instead of the program B. And because I'm the people that also don't want to take any risk or I also want to play in the safe place. That's why I chose the program A. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It's your opinion. Thank you for your opinion. Maybe, please, everybody choose program A or program B and write anywhere your answer. Okay, or maybe somebody of you who would like to choose, for example, program B, maybe Francesca, you can give us information about your choice. Sorry. Lou, maybe you. What about your choice?
For me, same with Erin. I will choose program A because it states it will survive 200 people. Meanwhile, the program B, that are the probability of no one will survive is more than we can survive, which is 60%. It's 10% more rather than the survive 600 people. So I choose program A because it's more less risk, because it already stated that they will survive 200 people without any probability that no one will survive with the program A. Thank you.
Thank you for your opinion. Okay, thank you. I think that you fix your answer. You choose your answer, and let's go to the next question. Which option do you choose? Receive 100,000 with probability 100%, or 2,000 with a probability 50%, or 50% chance to get nothing? What would you like to choose in this case? Who'd like to say about the choice and to
hello, Miss. So I think I will choose the first option, A, receive $1,000 with probability 100%, because it's in my opinion, it's like more fixed. I will get $1,000 compared to the second option. I will get $2,000 or get nothing. Yeah, it's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you for your choice. Less risky people prefer to choose answer A. Does somebody like to choose B? Okay, let's go. Patrick, what about you? What answer do you choose?
I would choose the more safe one, A, because if I get the 100% $1,000, I will get every time something. If I take B, I could get nothing.
Okay, thank you. Yes, it really depends on our psychology, and I prefer to choose A in this case too. Okay, and what is the next question? 600 people infected with deadly virus. Please choose the program again. Christopher, what about you? Can you switch on your microphone and say us what did you choose? What do you choose? Brian? Yoga? Let's, Erin, I'd like to ask you again, what is your choice?
Maybe I will choose the first, program A.
You will choose program A, yes?
Yes, because I feel like it is.
Maybe you will not explain us. You will explain us later, okay? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Miss.
Later, I will ask you later. Lu, what is your choice?
Maybe I choose program B in this case because of if in this case there are a chance to person to die, they have the same opportunity to die. The program A only for 100, but the program B there are probability that 600 person will die, but there is some hope. Maybe the probability that nobody will die 40%. So I will choose program B.
Thank you. Patrick, what is your choice?
I will choose the first one because the risk that 600 people, so everything will die, is 60%, and that is too risky for me.
Thank you. Okay, Catherine, what about you? Your choice?
I little bit confused about the second option, but I think I will choose the second option because the probability that 600 people will die minus 60%. So yeah, I think that's good. I don't know.
Yeah, here we have no right answer. It's just your opinion. It's probability. Yes, it's likelihood and about it. Okay, and Erin, what is your? Thank you, Catherine. What is your? Why did you choose program A?
So I choose the program A because if the comparison to program B, I know that there is still a probability that nobody will die, but it is only 40% that is lower than the probability that 600 people will die, that is 60%. So because in program B, because we know the probability that 600 will die is higher compared to the probability will die, and the amount of the victims also is higher compared to program A. That is why I choose maybe it is still okay if 400 instead of the program B, that will if we fail, it also will add more 200 people. Thank you.
Thank you for your opinion. And let's remember, what did you choose in this case, in the previous such questions? Yes, and if you will see to these two questions, this question about the same program, but sometimes we change our opinion because we see different words. Yes, here we choose, it's very easy to choose program A because here we see how many people will survive. But in this case, it is the same program, but here we see how many people will die. And we'd like to change our opinion. But in these two questions about the same program, yes, and really our opinion depends on the words. And it's one of the mental traps when when our opinion depends on the words. Yes, if I will I will suggest you to invest in any amazing project, or I will suggest you to invest in any terrible project. Yes, these words can change and can impact to your opinion, but really in corporation you need to analyze facts and try to reduce the impact, the influence of the words. Yes, it's one of the mental traps. And when we use risk management system, any system approach, we reduce this influence, the influence of mental traps. Okay, is it clear that these two questions about the same? And just words, because of words, we change our mind, our opinion. Okay, and the last question to you. Thank you for your that you talk, that you say. What do you think? The last question: which option do you choose? Lose $1,000 with probability 50%, but 50% chance not to lose anything, or B, lose $350 with a probability of 100%. What do you choose?
Okay, Miss, I will choose the second option, lose $350 with a probability of 100%, because if I choose the first option and I lose $1,000, yeah, it's so bad. So I will choose the second option.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Catherine. Patrick, what do you think?
I will also choose B, because it seems the more safety one.
Okay, thank you. Erin, what is your choice?
I also same like the Lisa and Patrick. I will choose the B because I think it is okay if I only lose the 350 instead of the first option, because the loss of 50% 1,000 is also 50%. That is why I chose the B. That still lower the chance of lose. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Brian, maybe what is your choice?
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so maybe I'll be different with my friends, and I'm going to choose, I don't know if it is correct, but maybe I'm going to choose the A, because I think 50-50%, I think that in order to have a high return, I have to take a high risk also. So I will choose the A, because the probability is 50%. I will lose $1,000, but 50% I will not lose anything. That's it. Thank you.
You'd like to take this risk, yes, and try to reset to zero your expenses, yes, your losses.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for your opinion. In this case, there are no right answer. So it just depends on your opinion. Maybe sometimes it depends on psychology. Luke, what's your opinion?
I have same opinion with Brian. I will choose A because in this option there are two of this option. We can lose some amount of money, but in option A there are probability 50% that I will not lose anything, even though that there are probability that I will lose all my money. So I think I will choose A.
Thank you for your opinion. Yes, but it really depends on psychology. It really depends on different people. But sometimes, but we know, according to research, that in cases when we are saying about profit, people like to be not risky. But in cases when we are saying about losses, people try to be risky, more risky, and ready to get much more risk. In this case, trying to decrease, to reduce losses. Please look at your reaction, look at your opinions, and really try to weight it according to the results. So trying to be more risky in reducing losing and less risky in extension your profits. It's not the good way in management for corporation. So you are not risky when you are saying about profits, but you're risky when you are saying about losses. It is the way, sometimes it is the way to be not very efficient and not very profitable. Okay, thank you for your opinion. It was our little research when we can see that opinions of people depends on different information. It's not about only exact information. It's also about words, numbers sometimes, yes, and maybe even about the weather. The weather in this day. Okay, so if we want to escape different influence of weather, words, and numbers to our opinions, to our decisions, so we need to use system approach. We need to use any approaches which give us system answer, which are not influenced by any events, any not very important events. Okay, so in this case, when we are saying about how can we identify risks, we can use such approaches: goal structuring, using risk classification, and using experience of the staff. For example, if we are saying about first approach, company's goal structuring, we need to identify risk. So we are saying that we would like to have profit for our company. We know that profit is the difference between revenue and expenses. We know that revenue depends on goods sales, service sales, and expenses is about salaries, taxes, materials, research, and others. So each of these factors, which is influence on our profit, we need to analyze, and in each of these factors, we need to identify risk. For example, if we are saying about good sales, what kind of risk can be? Departure of key customers, new competitors, currency fluctuation, low demand. So we identify risk about one of the goals of the factors which influence by goal, the goal to have profit. For example, if we are saying about materials, we can say about price fluctuation, about late delivery, and so on. So when we have a company goal, then we can structure this goal and for each factor of the goal, find out risks. It's one of the way how to identify the most quantity of the most number of risks. The other way, using risk classification. For example, we can say that whole risk can be divided on internal and external group. So we can say that for internal group, we can highlight management and staff risks, financing, risk about financing, technology and IT, or research and production. So in each class, we can find out risks about management, about finance, about technology, about production. And also the same about external risks. So using classification, we can step by step identify risks. And the third way how to identify risk, it's using the experience of the staff. So we can ask staff of our corporation about risks, and also we can ask experts in this sphere, in this field, about risks. Risk managers use three main methods: staff interviews, seminar with staff, and short questionnaire when trying to identify risk. What do you think? What method is more preferable for risk identification? When we want to identify risk systematically, we can use the experience of staff or experts. What do you think? What method, what of these three methods more effective?
I think staff interview are the most effective because I can know the point of view from each of my staff.
Yes, it is an advantage. It's really, we can ask everything, we can ask a lot of questions, and we can get a lot of information. What is the problem? What is the disadvantage of this way? One disadvantage of this way. One. Catherine, what do you think? What is the disadvantage of this way, of this method?
I think I need a lot of time, especially if I have more than 30 people, and it will like I must give a lot of time to do this activity compared than other methods.
Yes, you are quite right. It's really time consuming. It's very useful method. It can give us a lot of information, but it can be very time consuming. Maybe sometimes it can be expensive also. If we are saying about risk managers, we can say that they prefer to choose seminar with employees. When we ask a group of employees and try to identify risk. But really, whole of these three methods we can use if we want to know the opinion of experts in our company about risks. So we are saying that the first stage of risk management system is risk identification. And we need to use system approach because we want to avoid mental traps, and we want to identify whole risks. And when we are saying about any systematical work, we can use such table to systemize information, and the first column of this table is about stage 1 risk identification. Here we can put risk description and the effects of the implementation of risk, the causes and consequences of this risk. So it is the first stage. I'd like to do with you a little workshop when we are saying about risk. But for the first time, I'd like we to think about our life situation. For example, about traveling to Russia. What kind of risk can we identify for traveling to Russia? I prepare in Miro, the table. Oh, sorry, is wrong with my table. So here I ask you to identify one risk for traveling to Russia, maybe not to Russia, for traveling to Russia, yes. And in the first column, using by stickers, here you can take stickers. I can put several stickers here for you. Please use stickers and write on your sticker what is maybe the risk, what risk you identify according to travel to Russia. Here you have row for each of you. Erin, for example, your first row. Lou, for example, your second row, and so on. So please, I send you the link. So please, using by link, add to this table, and I put it in our chat. This is the link, and fill your first column. Please say to me what is the first column, what is the first stage of risk management system. Who can say what is the first stage of risk management system?
Risk identification.
Thank you, Patrick. Risk identification. So please identify risk. I see that Tabitha is here. Tabitha, your row is the third. Do you see the third row? It's your row. Patrick, I see you. Thank you. Any risk which can exist as you think. Patrick, do you? Mohammed, your row is the last one. I think you find it out. Can you do, if you need stickers, I put it here next to the you can use these stickers, you can put your own stickers. Is something Erin, Erin, please go to the table travel to Russia risk management. I think that you next to the corporation, cut corporation table, yes? Erin, please go to this one. Yes, yes, yeah, thank you. Mohammed, your row is the last one, is the bottom of the table. So use sticker, and as for Lu, for example, I show you. Oh, sorry. And on your sticker, you can print, you can type, sorry, you can type your opinion. Patrick, oh, you have several risks. No visa, flight delays. Thank you. I think that's enough to have 1, 2, 3 maybe risk. As for example, so I see that you understand what does it mean to identify risk, yes, to name the risk, and only after that we can manage this risk. Yes, if Patrick says that it is risky that flight can be delayed, then we can think what should we do with this risk. Okay, thank you. Mohammed, I see your results. Thank you. I look at closer. International border regulation related to COVID. Yes, it's very important. Yes. Personal health. Yes, it can happen something with you, with somebody when we are going to travel. Yes, and later we will talk what should we do with this risk. Okay, thank you. Hugo, let's find your needs to quarantine, Erin. Thank you. Yes, it's very interesting. Yes, it's about black swan. In 2019, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we will not talk about any quarantine. We will not talk about any COVID. Yes, but it's really, this risk is one of the real risks in our present current existence. Yes, it's very important. So in this case, we can see that our risk management system could not be constructed one time and then using. It should be renovate each time because of different situation, new risks in our life. Okay. So maybe it's enough to have one risk, to name risk, because for me it's very important that you understand what about risk identification. Yes, what do you choose when you are saying about risk identification? Hugo, for example, about visa. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we will go again to this, to this table, to Miro. Yes, it's one of the instrument for distance work, and it's very useful instruments. And let's return to our presentation. I would like to you now to think about corporation. High-tech corporation, which producing card decks. Do you know card decks? It's about card. It's a set of cards for playing cards, for example, for playing poker, maybe. So we are a corporation which need to produce card decks. We get from our suppliers such set of cards, but they are mixed, and we need to assemble decks when we put our cards in any order, and in special order, and to form decks for customers. So, as we understand, the goal of our corporation, assemble, in this case, 4 card decks suitable for selling to customers and earn maximum revenue. Here we have the order of assembling. How to assemble? We need to have order from 2 to ace. The order of color: hearts, cross, diamonds, and spades. And the first opened card is ace spades. So we need to, as on this picture, we need to put it in order, and we have the order about of colors. Okay, let's imagine this corporation, and we know if we will put time, if we will do it in 3 minutes, we will get revenue $80,000, in 4 minutes $70,000, and so on. So what do you think? The first question, how long can we do this process? What time can we name? And how many revenue we can expect to get? But we should understand that the penalty per each additional minute is 8,000. So the first question, what time do you think you can say and make your result in this time? And the other question, to think about risks, identify risks for this corporation. Okay, the first question, please put your answer in our chat. What number do you think you can choose? So it helped me to find the chat. So in our chat, Please type your opinion about the time. Patrick, thank you for your answer. 4 minutes. Somebody else? Try to understand how to see our chat. I see our chat. 3 minutes, Lou. Okay. Lou is more optimistic than Patrick. Erin, 5 minutes. Who else? Lou, why 3 minutes?
Because the penalty is 8,000 for each additional minute, and I calculate that if I choose 3 minutes, if it will be the worst to 6 minutes, I will get more than $50,000. So I will choose A for it because it will be more revenue if I choose A, even though that I get the penalty for 3 minutes more. I think that's all.
Thank you. You are quite right. Yes, we need to think as a managers. Yes, and our goal not to be exact in time, but to be successful in revenue. And Lou sees that the penalty less than the difference between 3 and 4 minutes, 3 and 5 minutes. Yes, so if you choose 5 minutes, for example, you will get revenue 16,000. But if you choose 3 minutes, but really make it in 3 minutes, and it's much more effective than any other answers. Brian, Erin, you give us answers. Is it clear about 3 minutes?
Yes, Miss.
Okay, thank you. So let's think about risks in this situation. What kind of risk can exist, can avoid, and can't lead to losing of time, to penalties. What kind of risk can happen? But I'd like to say is that in this case, the one critical risk exists, and it always happens when we make it in class, when we try to assemble these cards in class, construct such high-tech corporation. What kind of risk it can be? Let's find out it. So in Miro, please write one answer, one risk which you think can happen with this card corporation. Please use card corporation table, not our previous table about travel in Russia, travel to Russia, but card corporation risk as I show you on my screen. Oh, you didn't see my screen. As I show you on my screen. Here, card corporation risk system management. Please find you and write find your row and write here what do you think about risk. Maybe it's enough to say 1, 2, 3 or 3 risk. Okay, What is the stage 1 of risk management system? Who can say us? What is the stage 1 of risk management system? Christopher, maybe you? What is the stage 1 of risk management system? Brian? How can we name the first stage of risk management system? Brian, I know that you have a problem to connect to Miro. Don't care, please don't care, but you can write it down in your notebook, for example. Please write down what risk do you think can you identify on this for this situation, for card decks situation. Catherine, what is the first stage of risk management system? How can we name it? Catherine.
Sorry, I still don't get it. So the risk management for the card deck.
But how can we name this stage? What should we do on the first stage of risk management? Risk.
Like identification risk.
Yes, its name risk identification. Risk identification. Okay. Thank you. So, as I see, Patrick, thank you for your opinion. I'd like to see your opinion. What kind of risk you're missing cards in the deck? Okay, yes, absolutely. It's really happen really very often. Most unpreferable mix of the card. Yes, it's really too most. You copy this. Human error. Yes, Mohammed, thank you. Who else? Lou. Get penalty. Get penalty, it is the consequence of risk. But what is the risk? Why did you get penalty, Lou? Mohammed, yes, thank you for your example. Catherine, what is the problem to use sticker? You can't find sticker for you, yes? Is it problem to find sticker? I can put it for you. Catherine, yes, let's type on your sticker.
Okay, thank you.
If you have some problem with Miro, it's just a tool for visualization. Let's use your pen. Let's use your paper and write it down. We need to try to do this step. It's not about Miro, only about Miro. Valerie, thank you. Security and financial risk. But can you describe more? It's like a risk classification. What about, what is the financial risk in this case? What is the security risk in this case? Valerie, maybe can you describe us more about this risk? Catherine, lost the card. Yes, absolutely. We can lose the card and can't assemble whole cards, whole decks. Thank you. Christopher, thank you. Broken cards, maybe. If you have any question, please ask me. Please feel free to ask me. Hard to assemble cards. Erin, thank you for your opinion. Hard to assemble cards, maybe, but I don't think that cards are very heavy. Why it's hard? It's not easy because it's maybe very little. Yes. Wrong order, the card, Lou, thank you. So we can stop this step. Yes. Thank you for your opinion. Thank you for your work and your understanding what is risk identification stage. It's very, very important. It is the most important stage, because if we will not discuss about risk on this stage, we will not understand anything about risk. Okay, let's go to the next step. So we fill the table about risk description and the effects of the implementation risk, and we go to the stage 2, risk analysis and prioritization. And here we say that we have two main measurements of risk. It's probability and damage of risk. And when we think about risk, we think about this measurement: probability, damage. Do you see my screen and presentation, slide 19?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So when we are saying about risk analysis and risk prioritization, we can use 3 systematical approach for this stage. The first one, expert risk assessment. The second, the bow tie visual risk assessment, and the sensitivity analysis and scenario analysis. In our class, we will name it and looks to the expert risk assessment method. But when you have the course about risk management in your study in your universities, then you will talk about this more. So if you are saying about expert risk assessment, for each risk, experts said about 2 measures: potential damage and potential probability. So we can say, for example, that about the size of the potential damage, we can say high potential damage, middle potential damage, and low potential damage. And the same we can say about high level of probability, middle level of probability, and low level of probability. And in this case, we can construct road risk map. When we put whole of our risks, which we identify on the previous stage, in this map, And in this map, we will see our risks, and we will see what should we do with our risks. What do you think? What kind of risk we should reduce according to this risk map? What kind of risk? What is the number of risk which we should reduce in this case, and why? Brian, maybe it's comfortable for you to answer. Who would like to answer?
I can answer if you want. I would reduce or avoid the red categorized risks, in this case, the law risk and the research risks.
Absolutely right. And what kind of risk can you take, Patrick?
The green ones, because they are categorized with a lower damage and a lower probability. For example, the operational risks are the minimum risk in my risk map. So this one is absolutely acceptable, maybe.
Okay, thank you. Yes, you are quite right. So we, according to this risk map, we can see what kind of risk is very important for us and very risky for us, and what kind of risk we can take. Okay, thank you, Patrick. If you have any question, please ask me about this method, and we go to the next method. We will describe it just. So we can find top event of the risk and try to understand threats of these risks and consequences of these risks, and according to this description, to prioritize risks, to say, is it important for us or less important for us, and try to understand the probability of this risk and the damage of this risk. It is bow tie method when we analyze causes, consequences of the risk in different definition. And also the third method is the sensitivity analysis and scenario analysis. Maybe in your mathematical courses in your universities or any other kind of courses, you can use this analysis. When you construct the financial model of any business, in this financial model, you see different factors which can influence on the business. As we say on the previous stage, we say that we have such construction, yes, such construction and different factors which influence on our profit. So, and we try to make different scenarios, what kind of, the amount of profit we will get if, for example, our good sales will decrease in 10%, or we will increase in 20%. What amount of profit we will get if salary in our corporation will increase in 10%, and so on. So you model, you construct the financial model of the corporation, and after that change your factors, these factors, yes, and you can understand in different scenarios or sensitivity and making sensitivity analysis, how is it influence on the result of your corporation. And according to these results, you can measure damage of the risk, and so you can prioritize risk. Okay, so if we are saying about complexity of the method, we can say that expert risk assessment is the easiest way to analyze and prioritize risk. Both time methods more complex, and the most complex ways is the sensitivity and scenario analysis, but it's not such complex that you can't do it. It's really, you can really do it, but you need to train this skill, just to train this skill. It's really very, very easy. It's less easy than to construct rocket, for example, and to launch airplanes. Okay, so if the second stage is risk analysis and prioritization. On this stage, we should understand damage and probability of risk. And after that, we should prioritize risk, so to make it in order according to their importance. Let's go to our situation with travel to Russia and high-tech corporation of producing DEX. You in your maps, in your table, in our table, identify risk, and now let's fill other columns of our risk management system table. We should talk about damage for risk, probability of risk, and risk assessment. So if it's difficult for you to say what is how many the damage of the risk, how many dollars, how many units, so you can say low, middle, high. Okay, and the same with probability, low, middle, high. Okay, let's go to the mirror, to our table, and let's try to fill next 3 columns of our table. Mm-hmm. 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 So we will talk about we will talk about card corporation. We will not talk about travel to Russia. Sorry, we have no enough time for it. Mm-hmm. So I remember you that stage 2 is about risk analysis and prioritization. And here we need to manage damage of risk. Also, we need to analyze probability of risk. And after that, we will together construct risk priority. Mm-hmm. Risk priority. Mm-hmm. Christopher, broken cards. Mm-hmm. 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 I just look at travels. Nobody travels. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's do with card corporation. Yes. Mm-hmm. If you need more stickers, I can make it for you. Mm-hmm. Also, you can use red or green or yellow stickers. This one, red, green, yellow stickers, when you can put low, high level of damage, high level of probability. So if you would like you dislike to print something, let's use these stickers. Mhm. 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 Patrick, thank you for your connection. Missing cards. Yeah, I see. How did you do middle level missing cards? Yes. For example, most unpreferable. It's 2. Okay. Patrick, it's about damage. What about probability? Excellent. Thank you. Poor production quality. Valerie, you can make as Patrick. You can use your sticker. You can copy your sticker, put here, and after that use yellow, red, or green sticker to measure damage. Katerina, thank you. Katerina, what about the damage of this risk? That someone can bring another card. What is the damage of this risk? And lost the card, Katerina. What is the damage of this risk? Mohammed, thank you. What is the damage of human error? Can we lose whole of our revenue or just to have penalty per 1 minute, for example? Yes. Is it about $80,000 or about $8,000? Hugo, defect products. Yes. What about damage? What about probability of such kind of defected products? Lou, thank you. High level of wrong order, high level of damage, and middle level of probability. Wrong order the card. What do you think, Lou? Maybe it is high level of probability, but what about the damage? We will lose whole of our revenue or just penalty? We will have a penalty. What do you think?
I don't know, because the aim is to order the card, and if we cannot order the card, we get penalty. I think maybe the penalty will be makes we lost our revenue at all because the wrong order. So I
Yes.
put.
So in our process, we need to have the control check, the checking point. Yes, somebody should check that the order is right. Yes, to avoid such high level of penalty, such high level of damage. Okay, thank you. Erin, what about your results? External damage cards. What is everybody? You can make like Lou, high, middle. I think just it's enough in our workshop. Christopher, thank you. Damage 3 and probability 3. Christopher, what is the scale? From 0 to 10 or from 0 to 5? What is your scale? Patrick, I think that you finish your work. Please look at whole table. Oh, sorry. Please look at whole table and try to prioritize the risk, whole risk that we can face with according to our table.
Okay.
In this risk priority column, put 1, 2, 3. What do you think? Lou, the same for you. You see whole risks. Yes, you see the opinion of your colleagues damage probability. Please, in this column, stage 2 risk priority, put your opinion. The first, so the most important risk, the second, and so on. Okay, let's use stickers here and put just, for example, 1. Yes, and 2, and so on. Okay, not only for your risk, but for whole list of risk. Everybody who finish, please look at the list of our risks and try to priority whole risks. Yes. Christopher, not the words, but the priority. What do you think? Your risk is the most important. So put it the number 1. Or if if other risk most important, make the order. Risk priority, it is the number of importance of the risk. The first risk is the most important, the second risk less important, and maybe the 10th risk not important at all. Excellent, thank you. Thank you for your work. Let's try to prioritize. Thank you for your measurement for your risks. Let's try to prioritize whole risks. What is the most important? What do you think? What is the most important risk? If you have any question, please ask me. Feel free to ask me. Christopher, you make priority for your risk. Okay, the first risk, the missing cards, product liability. 2, the second risk. Okay, Erin, I see that you think, or somebody thinks that your risk is on the 4th. External damage card. Okay. Wrong order the card of flu. I think it's really the first one because it can really happen. Absolutely can happen. Okay, thank you. The third Defected products, the third step, defected products, okay, thank you. What about human error of Muhammad? The third, yes, it's really the third, and it is maybe the same, which is about miscalculation. It's about the wrong order. Maybe it is the same that Lou described us. Okay, thank you. Missing cards. Surya, you think it is the third or the second on of the importance? Maybe, yes. Valerie, you think that your risks, security, financial production? Yes, it is not very important as I see. And Patrick, you make for your risks the order. I can't see the order. It's very interesting, but I can't see it.
The order is because the first risk and the second risk are the same product. Out of damage and probability, it's 12. Therefore, I have the same ranking for these two first, and they have priority 1. And the third risk I identified had the product 10. Therefore, it had the risk priority 3 because it's the third risk and after the first two.
Because missing cards can happen, but it's not critical. Yes, for you can find it out, find the cards and make again. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I think that you have understood how to understand how to make risk analysis and risk prioritization. Yes, you need to measure damage, you need to measure probability, and the combination of damage and probability give us risk priority. Is it important for us or less important for us? Okay, let's go to the next slide. Okay, thank you for your work. It's really very, very good, and I hope it's really very useful. Okay, after the first stage, risk identification, and the second stage, risk analysis and prioritization, we need to manage risk. We think about risk, we name risk, but now we need to think what should we do with risk. And here we need to understand what should we do. It's a little joke. 4 frogs sitting on a log. 3 frogs are going to skip. How many frogs will stay on a log? What do you think? It's a joke, Surya, maybe you. What do you think? How many frogs will stay on a log? Somebody who would like to answer. Christopher, what do you think? How many frogs will stay on a log? I don't listen to you. Yes, now.
I believe only 1 left on the log because the 3 frogs are going to skip.
Yes, but sometimes in management we know that sometimes it can stay 4 frogs. Why? Because it is a big difference between going to do something and really to do it. Yes, so when we make such a lot of works to identify risks, to analyze risks, then we need to do something with it, not just put this table. It's excellent table, we make it, and it is the finish of our work. Okay, Christopher, thank you for your answer. And now we should think, what should we do with this a lot of information with this table? So we can use 4 main ways to manage risk. The first is to mitigate risk. The second is to eliminate risk. The third, accept, to take risk. And the fourth, transfer risk. So we have funny abbreviation MIT: mitigate, eliminate, accept, and transfer risk. When we try to mitigate, we can say that about reduce risk, to do something to reduce risk. It's especially very important when we have high level of damage and high level of probability. And Patrick said us that we see the risks in red zone. In this zone, we need to mitigate risk because it can happen and the probability is very high. And now we should spend some money to reduce this risk, really. Sometimes we need to eliminate risk at all because it can be disaster, catastrophe for our business, for our corporation. But whole risk we couldn't eliminate. If we will eliminate whole risks, we will not have any business because business is about risk. We can accept risk. For example, when we go to travel to Russia, then we have a risk about airplane accident. Yes, it's not very good risk, and it's terrible risk, I think. But what should we do if we want to Russia or if we want to travel? We should take this risk, yes, because we think that it can happen. The damage is catastrophe. Yes, people can lose their lives, but the probability is very low. So we can take this risk. You can accept this risk and go to travel. Some people can't take this risk and does not use airplanes. And also we can transfer risk. We can hedge our risks. We can pay for insurance, yes, and so on. But one risk we can't transfer. It's about reputation. We can't transfer reputational risk. If something has happened, for example, with airplanes, insurance company will have damages, expenses. They will pay to the passengers and so on. But the reputational risk will be with air company. And we know all over the world, people knows the name of the company, of air company, which have such kind of accidents. Yes, maybe it have no any financial risk, any losses in profits because of insurance company, but it really have reputational risk. And I'd like you to go to the mirror and using these MIT methods, please give us information. What do you think? What should we do with your risks? Mitigate, eliminate, accept, or transfer? Let's go to mirror and think about your risk. What should we do with these risks? Mitigate. Step 3, risk management. And I put the abbreviation MIT. We can use abbreviation team, but it's not so funny as MIT. Use stickers and write us. What do you think with your risk? What should we do? Reduce, mitigate, eliminate, or something else? And if you have enough time, you can describe something why or what should we do? I see that you fill the tables. On the last column, you can describe what should we do or why should we, for example, accept risk. Patrick, thank you for your red stickers. Yes, thank you. It's really well done. Doing nothing else. Okay. Searching assigned room without any people. So, Patrick, about your first risk, I understand that you try to eliminate it at all, for example. Okay.
Yes, the interruption due to other people, that I can be focused on the deck problem, and yeah, a solution to eliminate would be to find a silent room without any people.
You can close the room during the producing process. Yes. Yes, thank you. It's a really good decision. If you are saying about you try to mitigate buying original card decks, okay. Okay, thank you. It's maybe less, it's maybe more expensive, but it will give you more profit because you will mitigate this risk by additional expenses, but you will get less penalty, then you will have more profit. Okay, thank you. And doing nothing, missing cards in deck. Yes, because but you maybe you should check if you miss cards. And
yeah, the check would be okay, but I thought the second measure could also manage this risk, because missing cards are always in already used decks, and if I buy original new decks, it could be also that this risk is mitigated.
Okay, maybe, but it's not good to buy cards with buy decks with missing cards. Yes, maybe it's about reputational risk. Okay, thank you. But the idea is really good, and thank you that you understand the material. Okay. Valerie, you can accept and mitigate risk. To admit damages. And also you mitigate what kind of risk you could not making customer cards, so that company could focus on one card model. Okay. It's very interesting decision. Okay, thank you. Muhammad, mitigate reducing transfer risk. Okay, thank you. Accept risk, defected products. But I don't know what about defected products. What do you mean, Hugo? According to your decision, low and middle, yes, we really can accept such kind of risk. But if it's about whole product, maybe our customer will not buy these products. Mitigate risk by double checked. Okay, Francesca, thank you. Double checked. Yes, maybe yes, Tabitha, I'm waiting. Blue, mitigate Yes, recheck. Okay, thank you. Absolutely right. Mitigate because we. Christopher. Transfer missing cards. How can we transfer missing cards? Who should hedge this risk for us, for example? Let's think about it. Yes, you write it down. Yes, you type it. Hold, harmless, with the contractors or suppliers. Okay, thank you. I see. Thank you, everybody. We need to go because our time is next to the finish. So it is the third three step is very important. I'd like to remember you and to say you that the cost of risk reduction, of risk mitigation, should not be more than the level of risk, the damage of risk. Yes. So if you need to avoid the risk, for example, then $2,000, but we need to hire a person for example, $6,000, then it's not mitigation. It's really additional expenses for our corporation, and maybe it's in this case we can accept the risk. Or maybe we will be unprofitable in this case. Then we need to find the decision, cheaper decision. And we should to think about it. Okay, and the fourth step is about risk monitoring. We identify risk, we analyze and prioritize risk, we manage risk. We understand what should we do to manage risk. And after that, you construct risk management system. And after that, you should monitor to understand what has happened. How did your events really mitigate or reduce risk, or maybe really eliminate risk. So you have management cycle. When you make the first step, after that the second step, after that the third step, and after that you make the fourth step when you report about risks, and after that you renew your risk map. Yes, you go again to risk identification stage, and again understand what did you see on the what kind of risk you can identify. Maybe some risk you can destroy from your list, and don't use on the next risk system periods. So it's very important to make a cycle of risk management system, and on each cycle you will improve your risk management system, your own risk management system or risk management system in your corporation. And of course, we need to make it as a risk management culture, the fifth stage, when whole employees in our company, not only risk managers, think about risks and can help you identify risk, analyze risk, and manage risk, because risks exist all over the world, all over the corporation, and it can happen. Then it's not the problem only for the risk managers. It's a problem. It is a task, not problem. It's a task for each employee in company. So, as Albert Einstein said us, do not complicate the process of risk management. It's not about risk management, but Albert Einstein said us, everything must be done as simple as possible, but not simply. I wish you success in your future career, and I think that knowledge about risk management will help you be more successful in any kind of your works and your development ways. So the last task, please, in 30 seconds, find out and remember all blue things on the picture on the next slide. Maybe not 30 seconds, 20 seconds, I think just enough. Mm-hmm. 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 Stop, thank you. And please answer the question. What are yellow things on the picture on the previous slide?
The sun.
The sun. Thank you. Yes, absolutely right. We have a sun. Yes, thank you. But it's about if you focus on one things, you can it's not, you can't focus on the other things. So it's just a little joke. Thank you for your so serious work for this task. But it's about what does it mean for risk management? That stage 1, risk identification, is the most important step. Yes, we need to identify risk, because if we don't identify risk, we will not manage it at all. Okay, that's all of my material. Thank you. Thanks a lot for your work. It was really exciting, and it was really serious, and it was, I think, I hope that it was really useful for you, because if you want to learn, to study, to do something, we need to do it, try to do it, not just listen about it, but try to do it. And in most of cases, it will be more useful than just to listen something about it. So I wish you success in your future career. I wish you success in your future studying. I think that it's very important to study whole of our life, and it's very interesting, and it's really very useful for any sides of our life. Thank you for this class. If you have any question, please ask me. And if you have not enough time to be with us, yes, you can disconnect it.
I would have a question. In risk management, there are often, if I think about the risk identification, there are often similarities between a symptom and the root cause. Do you have any suggestions how to find the difference between okay, this is not the risk, this is the followed risk?
Yes, you need to understand the causes of risks and consequences of risk. Yes, and then you can identify risk. So you should understand the body maybe of risk, yes, and the consequences you will avoid if you avoid the body of risks. But also you can put in your risk identification whole that you think that that it is the risk. But when you analyze and prioritize risk, the consequences, yes, the results maybe will be less important. Then during the analysis, you will understand it. Then your core risks, can I say? So because of that, we need to analyze risk to understand, is it probable? Is it really low level of high level of damage of this risk? Or maybe if we avoid the previous risk, one risk, we will avoid and mitigate this risk. Okay, because so you need whole of the step when you construct risk management system. Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm. Mhm. Please, what's your question else? Mhm. Mhm. So if you have no question, thank you for your attention. The materials are in your group from an organization. They will send it to you. In this material, you have my phone number, for example. You can maybe not phone, but really type me in any messages if you have any question. Please feel free to do this. I will be very glad to answer you, to help you if you need. Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a nice day.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.